A very good evening to you. I'm Lisa Lord, and in our headlines, the fight against childhood obesity intensifies. Port employees undergoing polygraph testing. Hundreds gather for an entrepreneurs summit. And in sports, Afghanistan upsets Pakistan in today's World Cup warm-up match.
Broadcasting from our studios in the Pine St. Michael, this is CBC News Night, starting now.
And in our top story, the Heart and Stroke Foundation of Barbados has ramped up its fight against childhood obesity. Given the startling statistics, Chief Executive Officer Michelle Daniel says it is harming the island. We have a report from Kishmar St-Just.
Through its mass media campaign, Switch It Up, Protect Our Children, the Heart and Stroke Foundation of Barbados is hoping to garner support for its call for legislation restricting the sale of sugary drinks in Barbadian schools. The campaign got underway this morning.
31% of our children in Barbados are obese and overweight, and 8 out of every 10 deaths in Barbados are as a result of non-communicable diseases. What if you and you could contribute to reversing this negative trend of the increase of childhood obesity in Barbados? This is why you are here.
The reality of childhood obesity and how it can be prevented was captured by Harrison College student Tahira Mann in her skit, Beware of Me, Obesity.
Engaging in physical activity and eating healthier can be a significant help in stopping me from the damaging and psychological and physical effects I have on your children. So when you see me, run.
Switch It Up has the support of the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
This is a national public health concern. This is a priority area within the Ministry of Health and Wellness. And we note that the World Health Organization has highlighted childhood obesity as one of, and I quote, one of the most serious global public health challenges of the 21st century, affecting every country in the world. I understand that the focus of your work in this campaign tackles this precise priority area from the aspects of prevention as well as control.
Several schools on island have committed to maintaining a healthier environment come September. Kishmar St-Just, CBC News.
Well, Acting Minister of Education, Technological and Vocational Training, Senator Lucille Moe, is suggesting that parents limit time spent on gadgets like tablets. She's telling Barbados the prevention of childhood obesity is a serious matter that requires the support of all Barbadians.
The gifts that we tend to give very small children have also changed through no fault of theirs. Very young children are presented with cell phones, tablets, other gadgets. These children are sometimes so captivated by the technology that have no real interest in engaging in any type of outdoor activities. It is here that monitoring and supervision by the adults is crucial.
Employees at the Bridgetown port have been undergoing polygraph testing over the last few weeks as the government makes good on its promise not to tolerate corruption in any of its agencies. This is according to Port Chairman Senator Lisa Cummins. She says the process started in the last 2 to 3 weeks. According to Senator Cummins, this complements the systems already in place, like continuous vetting and requiring a police certificate of character.
So they're undergoing integrity testing now. Sometimes they're sitting in chairs for 3 hours or so and being tested with polygraphing to ensure that they don't have any criminal activity, they're not criminal ties. And so that process has begun and we expect it to continue over the next year. We're very thankful and appreciative for the support of the Barbados Workers Union, who has been working with us quite ably to get this on board. And so that is one of the steps that we are already taking to address the issue at the individual level.
Senator Cummins' comments came against the background of concerns about the port being used by unscrupulous individuals to smuggle things like guns and drugs into the island. She says the infrastructural challenges are also being addressed.
We expect that we should have some resolution of our scanning troubles, perhaps as late as the end of July, but as early as late June. And so we expect to have some movement, significant movement, in the next few weeks, next few months on these matters.
Minister of Maritime Affairs and the Blue Economy, Kirk Humphrey, says the polygraph testing should not be taken as a signal that the government believes port employees are corrupt.
Port, like any other entity that is a security board or a point where goods come and go, will be the likely point of conversation.
Yes, right.
For persons who are talking about corruption. I believe that we've done what a responsible government would do. We've fixed the scanner issue. We're talking about having people subject themselves to the integrity testing. But more importantly than all those things, because those things are back-end things, we're having conversations with the staff.
That's right.
And there's been consistent dialogue with the staff as we try to vision our way as a country out of the mire that we are in.
Well, today marks 1 year since the Mia Amor Motley-led BLP administration took the reins of government after a 10-year rule by the Democratic Labour Party. Our Shane Jones joins us live now with a look back at that year. Good evening, Shane.
Hi, good evening. Well, Lisa, the real question we have to ask is, how do we judge the last 365 days? Do we compare 1 year with the last decade? Do we single out one main point as a real indicator, like economic progress, perhaps retrenchments? Or do we use the perception as reality notion and harp on the international confidence that has seemingly been restored? There's so many things to look at simply because a lot has been happening. That's one thing that cannot be denied. There's been a lot happening. Okay, let's get into it. When the BLP launched its manifesto that Thursday night in Kingsland last May, party leader Mia Amor Motley's now famous words to us all were, "Give me the vote and watch me." And over the last year, we've been watching. So here are some of the main things we've seen that have affected the country most. Less than a month after coming to power, Prime Minister Motley delivered a mini budget that immediately made good on some campaign promises. Here's a huge one. The government abolished undergraduate fees at the UWI, but it came with a provision that graduates give back a set number of hours upon completion. July 1st, 2018, road tax was removed. Most vehicle owners were pretty happy about this, getting rid of that pesky annual payment. Well, the BLP ran on a ticket of caring for all, especially the elderly, and they did not disappoint. Old age pensions were raised from $155 to $225. Another thing that the new government was somehow able to quickly alleviate was the sewage situation that has plagued the South Coast for quite a while. That was part of Mission Critical that was ticked off in quick time. And to top off some of the big and most visible positives was the repeal of the National Social Responsibility Levy. Now, Lisa, as we all know, the government is currently going through the Barbados Economic Recovery and Transformation Program with the IMF, and this comes with some harsh social obligations. So this brings us to the bitter part of the last year. Chief among that is the retrenchments. The job cuts were estimated to impact over 1,500 workers in the public service. Now, bus fares rising to $3.50 was a very close second, sparking massive island-wide debate. In fact, people are still talking about it and making memes on social media. Up next, an additional $1.50 per day was placed on water bills, with $1.25 going to the Sanitation Service Authority for garbage collection and the remaining 25 cents being retained by the Barbados Water Authority. This was a drastic change for thousands of Barbadians. Now remember, Lisa, the removal of road tax was a positive. Well, on the flip side of things, a fuel tax of 40 cents per litre on petrol and diesel and 5 cents on kerosene was added, hitting those who use the road often quite hard. Now, there is something that I call the middle ground, simply because, as a positive as it seems, there has been some strong negative response from the public. While the plastics ban is a fantastic and progressive initiative that anyone in their right mind would agree with, the products made available to replace the single-use plastics have come under heavy scrutiny and much objection from the public. So, Lisa, that's a quick summary of some of the major highs and lows of the past year for the current administration. Of course, as I said, so much has happened, and these are just a few of the points that stand out. But you know, people will take that information and interpret it however they want to, and every positive and negative affects different people in a different way. So we sought out a professional opinion from political analyst Peter Wickham. He gave us this report from Columbia.
when looking at the assessment of the Barbados Labour Party's first year, I think there are two perspectives. One is the objective perspective, and then of course is the comparative. Regarding the objective perspective, there are strong and weak points. I think objectively, the Barbados Labour Party has done reasonably well in terms of dealing with the economic situation, in terms of reducing the debt to GDP ratio, in terms of dealing with government's credit rating and dealing with payments and things of that nature. I think they've done reasonably well in that regard. As far as issues like sewage, issues like the roads, issues like sanitation, I think in that regard, that's where we have some challenges, and I think that people would have some concerns regarding the fact that we're paying more for transportation and the bus system is still not up to par, and there's still some challenges regarding that garbage collection, but I think that those would be the key points. But I think summarily, I would want to say that the Barbados Labour Party has done reasonably well in the first year. Regarding the comparative, which is essentially how things are compared to this time last year, my sense is that overwhelmingly Barbadians just think that we're being better governed now than we were in the past. Certainly the communication is better. We are communicating more frequently with the government. There's a level of interaction that we have not really known before. So I think from all of those perspectives, Barbadians will look at the situation before.
Over 100 local entrepreneurs are set to network with and learn from their regional and international counterparts over the next 2 days. It comes as the 4th annual Entrepreneurial Network Caribbean Startup Summit will be held at the Lime Grove Lifestyle Center. Entrepreneurship Minister Dwight Sutherland hailed the event as beneficial and in alignment with the government's goals of promoting self-employment. He also believes it will allow entrepreneurs to embrace some new perspectives.
We as a region and we as a people tend to think small as entrepreneurs, but what we're seeing here give us that motivation that whatever we do, whatever we set about to do as an entrepreneur, we can achieve our global reach by utilizing technology, and indeed there is investment out there, investment opportunities out there. So I am happy to be here this morning.
And founder of the Caribbean Startup Summit, Selwyn Cambridge, is pleased with the event's growth and impact throughout the years.
Seen the change in mindsets. We've seen individuals who've attended the first summit come back and say how transformed they are in the way they think, the way they view their business, and the way they go about building their business. That, for me, if nothing else, is one of the most significant achievements, because I believe that the greatest thing that gets in our way of achieving progress and growth is mindset.
A 34-year-old National Conservation Commission worker is in the QEH in stable condition after falling into a well in Christchurch. Lawmen say they responded to a report of a person falling into a well at Emerald Avenue Parkside Drive in Inchmarlow around 10:30 this morning. On arrival, they discovered that Tashina Rollins of Sayers Court had fallen into a 32-foot well. She was reportedly cutting grass around the well before she fell in. 14 fire officers and 2 tenders assisted in her rescue. Police are probing the suspected drowning of a St. Joseph man. According to lawmen, the man identified as 21-year-old Leandre Francis of Suriname Road, Horse Hill, got into difficulty around 4 yesterday evening at Pierhead Beach, Bay Street in the city. Police say that Francis was in the company of a friend, and reports are that Francis was pulled from the water and lifeguards performed CPR on him. He was subsequently taken to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital by ambulance. However, efforts to revive him proved futile, and lawmen are asking anyone who may have witnessed the incident to contact the nearest police station. Well, the Ministry of Education is advising the public of a venue change for CXC exams scheduled for Monday, May 27th at the Wilde Gymnasium. The exams scheduled for that day will now be held at the Lloyd Erskine Sanford Center on 2 Mile Hill. The exam times will remain the same, and the Ministry of Education apologizes for any inconvenience caused. A new bishop of the province of the West Indies is being selected in the coming days. The province has been without an official head since last year, when Anglican Archbishop of the West Indies, John Holder, retired. The election of the new Anglican Archbishop will take place in Trinidad and Tobago, as that country hosts the 2019 Provincial Synod. And we hear more in this report from TTT.
Every 3 years, the Anglican Church holds a decision-making meeting to chart the way forward for the church in the region, called the Provincial Synod. This year holds special significance as it's been 24 years since the last one was held in Trinidad and Tobago, and it will also be the forum for the election of a new archbishop.
The last archbishop retired last year, and now the parish, the province, is being administered by the senior bishop, who is Bishop Errol Brooks of the Northeastern Caribbean and Aruba, based in Antigua. So a major highlight would be the election of an archbishop, which will happen on Monday morning, Monday 26th.
There's a buzz of excitement surrounding the election as Anglicans here in Trinidad and Tobago are hoping that their bishop, Claude Berkeley, will be selected. While he says he's flattered by this and his eligibility, he explains that the bishops of all 8 dioceses in the province are eligible.
They will select 2, and those, the wider synod body, which is what we might call an elective assembly, will vote for one of the 2. And by simple majority, the matter will come to fruition, or an archbishop will be chosen sometime on Monday.
Guyana's government is dismissing opposition claims that government money has been used to buy tickets for the Buju Banton concert. Opposition leader Barak Jagdeo claims the move is part of an electioneering campaign to regain the support of young people. Television Guyana reports.
$40 million to share out tickets that Amna Ali is going around handing out. That's not her money, that's taxpayers' money.
That was opposition leader Barak Jagdeo alleging that the government used taxpayers' money to conduct this exercise. In a Facebook post, Government Chief Whip Amna Ali posted up photos of her distributing the tickets to people in areas like Sophia, Norton Street, South Road, and Border. But today, Ali denied that taxpayers' monies were used.
Government money? Sorry, darling, it's not government money. It's the PNC's money, and we are distributing it to people.
Ali, who is also the General Secretary of the People's National Congress Reform, could not say at the time how many tickets were bought, but explained the rationale behind the move.
Well, we believe that it's a good opportunity for people generally to go to the Buju Banton show.
The I Am Legend concert is set for this Saturday, May 25th at the National Stadium, Providence.
After several weeks of speculation, the Cayman Islands has a new opposition leader. He is Arden McLean. The veteran politician is a former member of the Progressives but left that party in 2012 and has since run as an independent. McLean replaces Ezard Miller, who resigned earlier this month. CIG-TV reports.
Mr. McLean's appointment was confirmed after Governor Martin Roper received confirmation from a majority of MLAs in the opposition of government that he had their support as leader of the opposition. Now, the governor commented, "I am pleased to welcome Mr. McLean to his new position as leader of the opposition. This is obviously an important role which comes with great responsibility, and I wish him well and look forward to working with him in the future."
I understand the responsibilities that come with it, and I commit myself to my country and to assisting you and all others in the good governance of this country.
Thank you very much indeed. Now, the governor presented Mr. McLean with the instrument of appointment during a brief ceremony held in the governor's office on Thursday morning. It was attended by members of Mr. McLean's family as well as MLAs Alva Saku and Christopher Saunders.
Well, tonight we start our series of Countdown to Canouement features, and on this week's episode, young promoters are taking advantage of what is being expected to be a bumper crop over season.
Well, this promises to be one of the most exciting crop over seasons for many years. Why? Well, we have so many new events on the crop over calendar. And promoters like Cooper Dan and Raymond Hayward have been preparing for weeks.
Being a party, not only a promoter, I'm a party goer. And the word on the street is that the we were getting the same type of events over and over, you know, and after a while it gets starts to feel a lot monotonous. So we decided to go back to like different types of events rather than just the cooler party and the cruises and what's not.
We say, you know what, a party with vibe, show, live band, everything, and water.
Now for many, the crop over partying started weeks ago. It was a 10-year anniversary celebration for entertainer Renee King at Arcade's Bar in Goodland.
I ain't giving up. I can continue singing till I can't sing no more.
Renee also reflected on the popularity of Bajan Kaiso.
I really just be proud to really see Bajan music out there, all in Spain, Germany, Holland, all over. And the thing is, I was in Holland last year, and I hear pure crossfire. And we hear them to the music blazing, normal on radio. So I know that it's reaching.
Now a look at the bands. And we will start with Euphoria's 4-day offering for 2019.
She from the X quick. Make your bum back to that. Run for the punch shake it.
So this year we're primarily focusing on the 4-day aspect. Next year we're looking forward to do Kiddies Kadooment 4-day as well as Grand Kadooment. I'm trying to change the format and the language. So we're looking for Euphorians because this is the Fetton family. So we're looking for at least 350 to 400 persons on the road. And I tell you that we're going to get that number.
Touch the ground and sit, turn it around and sit, bend your back and sit. All the girls in the gym right now. Keep riding. Keep riding.